and the prevalence from 19, 1990 ranks to the 2019 rank, we still have a number of death that caused by cardiovascular disease still leading the number of death in Indonesia. And then in diabetes mellitus, more prevalence metabolic disease increases in the trends. And regarding the International Diabetes Federations, is about 30 million people with diabetes in Indonesia will be predict at 2045. Now we have about 20 million people with diabetes. And Indonesia is still the 5th most prevalent country with diabetes mellitus. And also in regarding the basic National Health Survey or RICAS in 2018, the prevalence of diabetes, we have 8.5% in our population. Increasing the trend of people with impaired glucose tolerance to become diabetes is still high in Indonesia. And regarding the Diabcare Asia model, we almost 30% of diabetic patients did not meet the optimal glycemic control. I will tell you about the glycemic control for patients with diabetes. Actually, the control of diabetes in Indonesia just only meet 30.8%. Just have A1C level, the criteria for controlling diabetes people. So it means that more than 70% of patients doesn't meet of glycemic control. The trend of 70%, it means that 70% of people with diabetes can be easier to some prevalence of complication. The most prominence of prevalence of complication in diabetic patient is because of cardiovascular disease, and the case is meet almost quarters% of patient with diabetes mellitus. Then aging population, demographic trends show increasing aging in the future. You will see here in diabetes patient in 1990% we have this pattern, but now the pattern is become changes. So the people with risk of diabetes because of aging in the population will increase, and aging population come with various health challenges, among them non-communicable disease such as of cardiovascular disease, especially with diabetes. Then the metabolic disease, aging contributed development cardiovascular disease. The aging and cardiovascular disease is non-separated entity. You will see here in the graph, these graphs, but the heart disease, coronary heart disease, hypertension, stroke, cancer, arthritis, diabetes is still high with the people with the aging population. So cardiovascular disease burden due to various metabolic risk is remain risk of a cardiovascular disease. You will see here in the 10 years evaluation in our population, almost 20 years in our population, this is the risk of aging that can make people with some risk become cardiovascular disease. National health and economic burden cardiovascular disease is very high also. The health economic cost of heart disease and stroke exceeds more than 10 trillion rupiah per year. So it means that this catastrophe should be handled. The highest mortality is still because of cardiovascular disease like a stroke, cardiovascular event, and also kidney failure in people with the aging process. Then I would like to talk to you that this important burden should be covered by the knowledge of not only bedside environment to handle it, but also we need another approach. This approach is recognized by specific clinical problems, and we call as a transactional research. By using transactional research, we try to finding a possible solution through basic science research, and we transition to clinical research through human study and integration in clinical practice and a clinical guideline. This is the pattern of transactional research that's very important in people with cardiovascular disease, with metabolic disease, especially like diabetes. So what actually transactional research? So I want to let you know that the transactional research is to be bridging of the basic research to clinical research. In traditional, research was divided into basic research and applied only for publication. However, distinguishing between basic and clinical research proved ineffective finding a practical solution in some part. It because of in basic research, researchers perform with a practical end, and some are provided general knowledge of nature and its law, not specific in a clinical answer, and also performed by laboratory scientists just only because of publication point of view. So it should be not a chance to do to make the basic research come to